First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakak, Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well. And a sincere salutation to you, Akim, and you, Aqua, to believe in all sincerity. I'm not too sure what I'm going to title this lesson, but I would basically like to speak on, that scripture that states that we have to wipe the dust off our feet, okay, which basically means that you have to basically like be done with certain persons, places, things, okay, and that just might be the wisest move you make, okay, is staying away from certain scenarios, certain situations, certain places, people, okay, because hanging around will do you more harm, okay? And through the Spirit, how to do that. So I want to speak on that. But let's start here. This is Sirach 33 and 22. Keep control over all that you do. Don't let anything stain your reputation. Right. So you have to take control, okay, of your life. What you allow in it and what you don't allow in your life. Okay? Because what you allow can basically stain your reputation, especially individuals. And different entities, organizations, they'll stain your reputation because not everyone means you well. That's what I'm coming to find out, as you get older. You want to preach the truth and you want everyone to be saved, right? You want to be an example to the whole world, but you can't. You can't. Okay, some people are not going to get this truth. Some people are not going to see your example. They're not going to see what you bring. So, it's better you to take control over what you do, okay, and wipe the dust off your feet, move around, circulate, get gone, get lost from that place, okay? You don't want to stain your reputation. Let's see. Let's get this. This is the book of 1 Peter. Let's see. No. First John 4:1. Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits whether they are of the Most High, because many false prophets are gone out into the world. You see, you got to try the spirits. You got to see whether something is genuine or not, whether a person, place, or thing is going to benefit you. That's keeping you to yourself, that preeminence, man. Okay. You don't let no one have power over you. You got to be your own man. Okay. And you got to try the spirits, man. Okay, because many false prophets are gone out into the world. There's many false people out in the world that you got to really, really be careful with. All right, because it says here, this is Sirach 12. When thou wilt do good, know to who thou doest it, so shalt thou be thanked for thy benefits. You see, when you do good to somebody, you got to know who you're doing good to, man, or else you won't even be thanked for what you've done. It says, do good to the godly man, and thou shalt find a recompense. And if not from him, yet from the Most High. Right. And you align yourself with the right individuals, they'll benefit from you and you can benefit from them. Okay. You scratch my back, I scratch yours. Okay. In a righteous sense, It says, there can no good to him that is always occupied in evil, nor to him that giveth no alms. Right. So if individuals are always doing evil, you gotta test the spirit. Okay. And you gotta make sure you're not doing good to people like that, because you're gonna come out jacked up in the end. Okay. Neither the individual that giveth no alms, a person who's not charitable, stingy, selfish individuals, those type of people you gotta stay away from, because they're not there for your benefit. They're there to get from you. They're there to solely gain off of you. And that could be people, places, things. Well, you got to really, really, really take heed and see, like, yo, is it benefiting me staying here, or do I got to get up and go? Give to the godly man and help not a sinner. Do well unto him that is lowly, but give not to the ungodly. Hold back thy bread. You see that? You got to hold back your money from the ungodly, and give it not unto him, lest he overmaster thee thereby. For else thou shalt receive twice as much evil for all the good thou shalt have done unto him. You see? One day people can, do you something foul. Here it is, you help the ungodly, and you end up receiving twice as much evil than if you would have just left them alone. Okay? That's why you have to know who you do good unto. For the Most High hated sinners and will repay vengeance unto the ungodly and keepeth them against the mighty day of their punishment. Right? So the Lord wants us to keep individuals, okay, that are shady, okay, to that day of judgment, okay? And that's horrible. The day of judgment, we know that it's talking about fire. The second coming of the Lord is a fervent heat. It says, give unto the good and help not the sinner. You see? Give unto the good and help not a sinner, man. Yeah. And that's how you got to test the spirit. Because if individuals are like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know to move around. This is Sirach 6:6. Be in peace with many, nevertheless have one counselor of 1,000. Right. Sometimes you just have one dude that you really talk to. But you're at peace with a lot of people. You're cool with a lot of people, but yeah, there's only one person that you really rely on. If thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first, and be not hasty to credit him. You see, if you get a friend, you got to prove him. You got to really, really see if people are trustworthy, if they're honest, all right, if they're respectful, if they have integrity. Can you trust them? Okay, you cannot be too hasty to just make people your friends, man. The scriptures speak about people revealing not your heart to everyone. All right, you don't tell everyone all your. Matter of fact, let's get that. That's a good one. The apocryphy. Whoa. Yeah, Sirach 8:19. Open not thy heart to every man, lest he requite thee with a shrewd turn. Yeah, that's why you have to have one counselor, one person you really rely on and trust. Because if you open your heart to every single person, you just hearts on a sleeve. Hey, those people can, ultimately use what you say against you, and requite you with a shrewd turn. They'll do something to you that you're like, man, I shouldn't have spoke to this person about this. I shouldn't have, whatever the case. Right, meaning in this context, a shrewd turn refers to a harmful, cunning, or malicious action performed by someone you trusted too easily. You see? Yeah, you got to be very careful, man. Trying the spirits, because there's many false people out there. It says false prophets, but we know, in this case, we could say there's a lot of false people out there. All right. Sirach 6:8. For some man is a friend for his own occasion and will not abide in the day of trouble. Right. Some people are just your friend for their own occasion. Some places you go, it's just, they're just there for their benefit. They're not there for yours. And they'll not abide in the day of trouble. Right here, you're having trouble and they don't give a damn. They'll close the doors on you. All right. And there's a friend who, being turned to enmity and strife, will discover thy reproach. Right. There's some people they'll discover your secrets. Once they turn into enmity and strife, once you fall out with people and you have a back and forth, people will discover all your things that you told them in confidence. Again, some friend is a companion at the table and will not continue in the day of thy affliction. Right. Only when things are good, at the table. Okay. But really in the day of affliction, they're not going to be there with you, And again, these are people, places, things. All right. Because I want to really go into the wipe. Wow. So, this is very, oh my goodness. Wow. All right, this is Luke 10 and 10. It says, but into whatsoever city ye enter, and they receive you not, go your way out into the streets of the same, and say, even the very dust of your city which cleaveth on us, we do wipe off against you. Notwithstanding, be ye sure of this, that the kingdom of the Most High is come nigh unto you. Okay? So wherever you enter, okay, and they don't receive you, you got to wipe the dust off your feet. Individuals, people, places, or things that don't benefit you. All right, that have proven that if you help, you're getting twice as wronged. They're requiting you with a shrewd turn. Okay, they're discovering your approach, this, that, and the other. Hey, at some point you just got to, you know what? Hey, I'm out. Right? NLT, we wipe even the dust of your town from our feet to show that we have abandoned you to your fate, and know this, the kingdom of the Most High is near. And that's truly what it is. That's truly what it is. You got to just keep moving. Okay? But I say unto you that I shall be more tolerable in that day for Sodom than for that city. Yeah. And we know what happened with Sodom and Gomorrah. It was destroyed. Okay? So, I mean, and I assure you, even wicked Sodom will be better off than such a town on Judgment Day, because the men of the Lord, they come with a message, and if people don't receive it, if people don't see the example, people don't, they're not getting with it. You just got to wipe the dust off your feet. Even the dust of that city. You sort of say, you know what? Hey, I did what I could. I got to move forward. Okay, and this is people, places, things, everywhere, anywhere. You have to truly protect your peace, and it's something that I've been learning. And it's so important. A lot of people go there, they go years people pleasing, trying to hang around with stuff it's just not benefiting. It's just not. You got to leave people to their own fate, as the scriptures say. All right, but and their fate is up to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Okay, so just a little something to exhort. Okay, Lord willing, it was edified. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai Bahashim Rokak Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well, and a sincere salutation to you, Akim and you, Akwet, and in all sincerity. Shalom.